Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. This is the first episode of season 3 of the How to Write for a Living podcast. If you've been with me since season 1 all the way through season 2, thanks so much for being here. It's great to have you along. It's great that people actually listen to this podcast and watch these videos, and it's just so cool to have you here and really appreciate it. If you're new to the podcast, this is your first episode potentially. You're very welcome to be here. It's great to have you along, and hope you stick around for the rest of season 3. Um, if you don't know me, my name is David McElroy. I'm a husband, writer, and solopreneur from Northern Ireland, and I help writers develop brands, strategies, and systems that help transform their words into life-changing income. Today's topic is all about one thing and one thing only, and that is writer branding. If you've been following what I've been talking about on Substack for the last few weeks, really throughout the whole of the summer, probably, writer branding's been a big thing for me. I'm really interested in it at the minute. I think it's super duper important for writers to have their own brand. And that might sound like a buzzword, but I genuinely believe that a strong writer brand is the difference between being read once and forgotten about and being remembered and ultimately paid for your work. I think having a strong writer brand is more important than it's ever been for writers in every kind of field, in writing online and writing fiction and writing scripts and whatever it is you're doing. I think having your own strong personal brand is more important than ever. So um, today I'm going to share 3 reasons why I think every writer needs a brand. I'm going to break that down for you and just share my own thoughts in a pretty candid way about why I think that's really important these days. And then I'm going to share 3 steps that you as a writer can take right now to start developing your own personal brand. So I hope you enjoy this episode. As I said, this is the first episode of season 3. I've got lots of really amazing guests lined up for the rest of the season. I've recorded one of those already, and I'm going to be recording another one tomorrow with somebody else. And I'm super excited for you guys to hear those conversations. So definitely stick around for the rest of the season. But for now, we're going to start with season 3, episode 1. I'm going to start by talking about 3 reasons why I think every writer needs a brand in 2025 and beyond. And reason number 1 for this is because I think that readers in 2025 and beyond buy trust, not just words, not just products. They buy trust from other people online. A book or an article might grab attention once, but trust is the secret sauce that keeps people coming back time and time again. So the question is, would you rather go into a shop and buy a random biscuit brand if you're from the UK, a biscuit, or if you're from the US, a cookie, I guess. But would you rather go in and buy a random biscuit off the shelf, or would you rather stick with the brand that you know and love and have been buying for years? I wrote a post recently about milk chocolate hobnobs because they're like one of my favorite biscuits of all time. If you ever tried a hobnob, it is just incredible. It's the goat of biscuits. They're incredibly dunkable. They're incredibly calorific. They're massive. They're delicious. You're going to go out and check them out after this, I'm sure. But hobnobs are the biscuit brand I keep coming back to, or the biscuit type I keep coming back to over and over again. Because I know them. I know what they're going to taste like. I know what to expect. And in many ways, bit of a leap here, but your brand is similar to that sort of experience, and that you want to make your readers and your listeners and your viewers feel safe invested in you. You want them to feel safe subscribing, feel safe pre-ordering your book or your product, and feel safe giving you money from their pockets. So in the same way that I know that if I go in the shop and buy a product like a hobnob that I know, I feel safe buying it. I know what to expect. You want your readers to feel the same about you. You want them to feel that level of trust whenever they put their money where their mouths are. So readers buy trust, not just words. That's point number 1 about why I think every writer needs their own personal brand. Number 2, clarity cuts through the noise. There's more content out there on the internet than anyone could possibly read in a lifetime. So what makes somebody choose you over somebody else? Why should somebody choose to read your Substack publication or post? Choose to watch your podcast, choose to read your book, choose to watch your podcast video, should I say, or your video on YouTube. And it's that word, clarity. When your brand is clear, when it has the 3 V's, voice, values, and vision, nailed, readers will instantly know if you're for them or not. And those kind of readers, the right readers who find you in those circumstances, will be the ones who stay loyal and will stick around for the long term. So if you can get your voice right in terms of the way you present yourself, if you can nail your values in terms of the things you think are most important that you're going to talk about again and again, and if you can nail your vision so you know where you want to be in a few years' time, where you want to take your readers in a few years' time with you, if those three V's are clear, that clarity cuts through all the mess and the noise and the extroversion and the performative stuff that's on the internet right now. And you can talk in a way like I'm talking to you right now, like a friend, because you're my friend. And never met you before, but you're my friend. Um, but I can talk to you in this very casual, normal human way, because I'm clear about what I offer. I'm clear about what I stand for, and I hope you understand that about me as well. If you can find a way to talk to your readers like this or write in a way like this, then that will cut through the noise, with incredible effect. And the third reason why I think every writer needs a brand in 2025 and beyond is because your brand outlasts the platform that it's on. So algorithms change all the time, as we all know. Platforms rise and fall, they come and go, but brands are portable. Brands are the thing that we can pick up and take with us between different platforms. And especially if you have your own email list, especially if you have a way of contacting your readers outside of a platform. And that's always been incredibly powerful. Email has always been the absolute king above all other platforms in terms of ways of communicating with your audience. Um, but if you've got a strong personal brand, it doesn't matter if a platform tanks, it doesn't matter if it goes belly up or if it loses its effectiveness, as we've seen happen time and time again. Your brand can outlast those platforms. Substack, for instance, which is where I spend most of my time right now. If it disappeared tomorrow, as long as I have my email list, I have readers that will still follow me and trust me and hopefully support me financially as well. And that's the power of having a personal brand that transcends platforms. I hope Substack doesn't go away, by the way. I hope it stays around for a very, very long time. But in theory, if it did, my audience can be transferred somewhere else if necessary. And that's the power of having a brand that people trust and connect with in a really effective, genuine way. And real quick, if you're enjoying this episode, if you enjoyed my podcast in general, if you're enjoying this, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Substack as well. Just means we'll be able to stay in touch. It means that people will see that you subscribe. Maybe they want to subscribe as well. You can like this episode or this video and maybe share it if you want to as well. Maybe leave a comment and tell me what you think afterwards. It helps get out there to more people who might like it as well. So I'd love for you to stick around and be in my audience there on those platforms if you want to. So make sure you click the subscribe button before you leave today, so we'll be able to stay in touch. So we talked about the three reasons why I think every writer should have a brand in 2025 and beyond. What are the three things then that every writer can do to start developing their own personal brands going forward? And no matter where you are, if you've just started out, if you've just started thinking about developing a brand or creating a presence online, or if you have a brand, if you've been online, if you have an audience, if you've been established for a long time, you want to develop it further, and what are some things you should think about to nail both of those prospects? So the first thing that I think everybody should do and everybody can do is to define their writer brand triangle. What I mean by that is what I mentioned before: your voice, your values, and your vision. So write down three words to describe your voice, write down three core values that you have, and then write down your vision for where you want to be in the next few years and where you want your writing to take your audience in those years as well. Um, I might say that my voice is, I think, calm, I think warm and friendly, non combative, I guess. My values are putting other people before myself and trying to do my best by my audience and trying to do everything with integrity and in an authentic way. And my vision is to grow my audience, to create more sustainable systems for myself, and to find better ways to serve my audience going forward. So that might be what my triangle might look like if I drew it on a page. And you can do exactly the same thing now to kind of help you understand your brand and your platform and your base more. And then if you understand it better, your audience will understand it better as well. The triangle is your foundation. It shows you and your readers what you stand for. And that's super important now in the age of AI, when half of the internet is not even a real person anymore, probably a lot more than half actually. It's really important that you know what you stand for and that your audience know as well. And then number two, and directly off the back of that, you need to decide what you're not all about, what you don't stand for. Your clarity comes not only from understanding what to include, but what to exclude, what to leave out, whenever you're putting yourself out there online to your audience. So again, take a piece of paper or open a document and write down five things that your writing is not. You might say, for instance, I'm not academic, I'm not sarcastic, and I'm not all about quick hacks. Whatever you're not all about, if you can exclude that from what you present online, that stops your brand being diluted. It stops the things that you are all about being lessened and reduced and diluted, as I say. For instance, for me personally, I might say that I'm not all about really aggressive writing, really, as I said, combative writing, like telling you this is the only way you should do things. It's my way or the highway. I'm all about, I'm not all about making you feel bad about yourself if you're not working 24/7 or growing super fast or making six figures in 6 months. Um, I'm not all about being super extroverted, as you can tell, on camera or over a podcast. I'm just not about those things, not who I am as a person. And I think if I was being that way, I wouldn't be authentic, wouldn't be genuine, wouldn't be sincere. So it's really important to understand what you are and what you're all about. And it's also really important to understand what you're not all about as well in equal measure. So if you can understand those things, your audience will understand them about you as well. And that's a better way to deepen connection and trust between you and your followers or your listeners or your readers. And step three, the third thing you can do right now to start developing your personal brand as a writer is to create at least one touch point for people to come across you online. So choose one place. It could be your Substack bio, could be your LinkedIn profile, your welcome email in your sequence, your about page on your website or on Substack or whatever. And just make it crystal clear who you are, what you're all about, and who you're writing for. So, my bio, for instance, talks about how I help people develop strong brands and strategies and systems for developing their own brands and bringing in income through their writing. And I know that I'm writing for a certain kind of person. I know that I'm a solopreneur and author myself, and those are the kind of people I'm going to be writing for as well. And that's super clear. That's on my bio everywhere. I think it's on my about page. It's in the welcome email probably as well. Haven't got that in a while. Probably should again, but that's probably there. Um, but if you're really, really clear about who you are, and who you serve right from the start, it's just a quick win. You'll immediately start attracting the right kind of readers, instead of just randomers who are only just kind of kicking tires and just kind of having a quick look at what you're about and then leaving again. You want to attract the right kind of readers who are like you and maybe on the same journey as you, maybe just further back. And they're the kind of ones that are going to stick and might become one of your thousand true fans in future that's going to fuel your real growth and real development as a writer and a creator. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Hope it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Hope it makes sense to you as well. Um, and here's the truth about this, though. You can progress with all these steps. You can understand why you need a brand. You can understand how to start developing your brand. But building a strong, income-ready writer brand now and in future is more than just writing down a few things on a page. It's more than just drawing a triangle, as good as that is, or updating your bio, as good as that is. It takes practice, it takes feedback, and the kind of support that you can't get by working on your own. It takes those things as well. And that's why I created Writer Brand Lab. Again, I've been talking about this those recently. If you haven't heard about Writer Brand Lab at this point, where have you been? I've been emailing you about it flat out and talking about it on Substack and on YouTube and things like that loads. So they shouldn't come as a surprise. I'm going to mention this now, but I created Writer Brand Lab. It's my 4 month group coaching program that is baked inside a year-round 12-month community space online. And it's a place where we go deep into everything we've talked about in the course of this podcast episode today. It's for anyone who wants to develop their brand. You could be a Substack writer or a Medium or wherever it is you write online. You could be a writer of fiction or nonfiction. You could be a screenwriter or a scriptwriter, just a content creator who writes things as well. It's for anyone who writes, who wants to connect with their audience on a personal level and wants to build a magnetic brand around themselves, not just about their words, not just about the products that they create. It's about them as a person and about how their readers and their viewers and the listeners are going to connect with them as a person, what sets them apart from everybody else, what makes them magnetic, makes them attractive, not just physically, and maybe not physically at all, but just in terms of what they present, in terms of their personality, in terms of their character. That's what Writer Brand Lab will help you understand about yourself. I will help you personally, one to one, and in a group setting with other writers and creators, understand what your core strengths are, maybe what your weaknesses are as well. But I'll help you understand and identify things about yourself that maybe you couldn't see working on your own. Maybe you couldn't understand and identify those things just by looking in the mirror. You need somebody else there to kind of reflect that back at you and point it out. For instance, I've spoken to people who are incredibly extroverted and charismatic and so likable and so friendly and so positive and warm, but it maybe never occurred to them to start their own YouTube channel or a podcast. And all they needed was someone to point that out. Or I've spoken to people who are maybe more introverted like me and don't like being in front of the camera or behind the mic like this. And I've been able to tell them how they can write in such a way that it draws more about them out so their audience can understand what they're all about and understand them and connect with them as real people, or even just to kind of move past their introversion and understand how they can at least be extroverted for a time whenever they're on camera, like I'm doing right now. This is not me normally all the time. I'm being as extroverted as I probably can manage to be for a sustained period of time, but I will go back and be quiet after this for a while and recover because I am an introvert. So I need to do that. But I can be extroverted, I can be outgoing, I can be clear in the way I speak and the way I present what I understand and what I know for the time that I need to. And I can help people do that. I can help you do that as well if you feel introverted. And this is just an aspect of writer branding. If you're presenting yourself, presenting your face and your genuine human nature online. And after you've done the 4 month cohort, so it's weekly sessions with me and with other writers on Zoom for maybe an hour or so once a week. And then there'll be things to do during the week, like little assignments. I don't use the word homework, but assignments you can do in the meantime, things you can work through, we can check in, that sort of thing. But you'll finish with a clear brand blueprint that you can sum up in a sentence. You'll understand your niche and your audience much, much better than maybe you do now. You'll have a trust building ecosystem in place across your platforms, or at least know how to do that. You'll have a personalized monetization roadmap, which will work out together in a group setting. And you'll have a 90-day action plan to keep momentum going beyond the end of the cohort, and which you can continue doing within the community as well. So you're going to leave with a lot, but the main thing is you're going to leave understanding what your writer brand actually is and how to develop it further and how to monetize it and how to turn it into a system that fuels the rest of your growth in an online place, or if you're selling books or whatever it is you're doing, you have a strong, clear, sustainable writer brand behind that. And I know that for me personally, until I started leaning into that as a writer, I didn't really know what I was all about. I didn't really know what I was going to do in future. I didn't really know what my plan was. I didn't know what worked and what didn't work. I didn't know how to connect with my audience. Once I did understand my brand, once I understood what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, what I should lean into, what I should put down, what I should do more of and less of, that's when things started changing for me. That's why I can now be a full-time writer. I can be a full-time content creator and solopreneur and author, rather than having to work for somebody else, because I have a strong personal brand, because I've understood how to do it. And I'll help you do the same thing. So as I said, this is for you if you're writing on Substack or publishing anywhere online, and you've got words out there on the internet, but you've no clear brand strategy. So this is for you in that sense. If you've already got some audience, but you want to connect your words to income and sort of find ways for your audience to financially support you, create things that they need, sell those things to them, and generate income for yourself. This is for you. And if you're tired of doing all this on your own in isolation, by yourself, feeling lost, feeling lonely, because writing can be a very lonely process and occupation. If you want community around you, who will give you feedback and support and encouragement and cheer you on, and maybe also tell you maybe where you're going wrong and steer you back in the right direction, this is also for you as well. So as of today, this episode will come out on Sunday, second Sunday, I think, in September, whatever that date is. You'll be watching it Sunday anyway, or listening to it on Sunday. applications for the next Writer Brand Lab cohort are open now. So you can now sign up. You can join, you can apply. It is an application process because I don't want to just take your money and and just run off with it. Not that I would do that, but um it's an application process because I want to understand who you are, where you're coming from. I want you to understand more about yourself by going through a very short, simple application process. I don't want to say yes to you if I don't think I can help you. If I think I can help you, and then I'll absolutely say yes and invite you on board. If I don't think I can help you ever or yet, I might direct you to be part of our community tier instead, or just remain on the wait list for now. But I only want you to do this if it's something you're sure about. I'm not just trying to give you a hard sell, and just get you to sign up for this and then maybe regret it later. I want you to sign up only if it's actually for you, if I think that I can definitely help you. So that's why there's an application process, just to explain that. But that's open now for the next week, so for the next 7 days. It'll finish next Sunday. And you can apply throughout that time. I'll send more emails during the week and give you more prompts, but you can literally go right now to the landing page and apply to join the next Writer Brand Lab cohort. If you miss the cohort, or this doesn't suit you right now, you can still join as a community member at any point throughout the year. That's always open. The community tier still gives you access to the private chat area. You can still collaborate with other writers in the space. It gives you a simpler way to upgrade to the next cohort. And you can still take part in the monthly Q&A mastermind sessions where we'll bring guests in to speak and interview and answer some questions about writer branding and things like that. So you still get to be part of all that really, really good exclusive stuff as well. But the actual cohort itself is 50% off, and this is the only time it's ever going to be 50% off. It's for this week only. So this is the absolute best time to do it. It's never going to be this cheap ever again. Just purely because I know the value and the transformation it can offer. So I don't want to offer it for too little. I want to get the right kind of people who are going to really value it. I've given away things for free before and people don't show up for stuff. I've given away things for cheap and people don't use it. So I want you to understand that this is an investment in you, an investment that you're going to make back fivefold, sixfold, seven, tenfold, whatever, over time, because you're going to develop a strong writer brand because of it, and that's going to yield really positive results for you in terms of growth and clarity and finance further down the line. So it's 50% off for this week only. So if you think this is for you, if this is the right time, and you're ready to go, and you want to join the cohort and you want to see that transformation, you want to work with me directly, definitely jump on board. No, don't hesitate. But if it's not for you right now, if financially it doesn't make sense for you right now, you can join as a community member for cheaper, and still be part of all that really good, exclusive, and more direct kind of stuff as well. So either way, they're both there on the table for you. So don't wait. If this is the right time, click the link in the show notes or in the post or on YouTube. Apply. Give yourself the chance to build a really strong writer brand that readers will remember, trust, and support. I can promise you this is going to be a really fun, energizing, engaging, encouraging experience for everybody who joins. And you will leave with a much, much stronger writer brand than you had whenever you started. So if you're listening to this and you've got to this point in the podcast episode or in the video, congratulations. I know you already care about your writing brand and you're writing enough to take it seriously. If you've listened for this long, now is the time to take your brand seriously as well and jump on board. This is the right time. So I hope this is helpful as the first episode of season 3. Hope you understand a little bit more about where I'm coming from in terms of why I think writer branding is so important and some things that you can do to start developing your brand right now. If Writer Brand Lab is free right now, it'd be great to see you there. If not, that's totally okay. I really appreciate you being here with me in this podcast. I'm looking forward to sharing more episodes and interviews and things like that in the course of season 3. I look forward to connecting with you on Substack and on YouTube and in the podcast episodes in future as well. So thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for being part of my audience. And I'll see you soon.